Hello guys, welcome back to stream. Hold on, let me just lower the volume on this just a little. Alright, so I am back on stream just so we can close out the night with our tier list. Actually here, let me just undeafen myself just in case anybody's...
Oh boy.
Hello?
I was not going to see kind of glitching for me, so I want to close it for
Okay. I was wondering,
guys,
did everybody leave or something?
Are you guys still playing matches in Knockout City?
No, like
No.
I was talking about like random game, but like my Steam like crashed out of nowhere, so I'm like wondering.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
No worries. Like it's just random because like it was or like it was like a blank game. I think I know why.
Wow,
I
that's
I
cool.
did
I
that.
didn't believe that, actually.
Okay.
It's like it's probably like something that needs to be updated or whatever. And I was telling Epic about this game that would be up this alley, like this game called BattleBit Remastered.
Let me see.
Hmm.
Okay, I think...
this game.
I was trying to find like the sites to download because like it's not so large.
Okay, I'm pretty sure this is probably the best one out there. Let me take a look at a few of the other ones.
What, the list with the most complete characters, even the side characters?
Well, I don't want to go like overkill because like I think some of these have like some characters who are only there for like 5 seconds in like one episode.
5 seconds in one episode. Are you truly a Little Witch Academia fan if you don't like the 5-second one-off character?
I mean, they have certain they put too much characters.
Yeah, there are also some that like include characters from like what is it, like the one-off episodes like before the series like really like began. Like they have like I think like one random episode just to kind of like introduce like the idea of like Little Witch Academia before it became a series. Like so,
okay.
yeah.
So you mean like a pilot in a sense?
Mm-hmm.
I see.
Yeah. So I'm not going to include like characters
So
from
they're
like
not real
those
people.
specials. Yes, they're not real people. It's not canon. It's not.
You mean
canon.
everyone?
Oh boy.
BattleBit Remastered?
Yeah, this is the thing I was telling Epic. I just wanted to see what it's like.
Okay.
Oh,
So,
I see.
Let me
'Cause I feel like
see.
I feel like I'm the only person in this call that has no idea what any of this is.
okay.
No, I don't know.
I just
No,
heard of
no,
Senran Kagura.
Well, I didn't know.
Oh, and you know what?
It popped up in my discovery queue, and I was like, you know what, this looks interesting.
But
Here, let
BattleBit?
me-
No, I don't know what this is either.
Okay, let me.
Well, no.
switch
Well, I mean, I guess I don't know
screens
what
so I
BattleBit
can
is either,
look
but
at
I was
chat
talking
Oh,
about.
you
and
talking about Little Witch
cheers at the
Academia?
same
I've never
time.
really seen much of the series either. I just know a handful of characters from another site.
Yeah, he
Oh, I
from
see.
another site.
Another site.
I can't
oh,
log on. The servers are offline.
Really?
Well, yeah, like remember, it's there for like stress testing. But I like the anime so far. It's quite nice actually.
They look like freaking.
Yeah, like see how they're square and shit. Like the gameplay looks cool though.
Oh.
Man, and I missed it by that much.
Don't worry, they'll have their stress test on what, the 13th? I don't know. The 13th.
Okay, I think this is good. All right, and then here, let
No,
me
it's it for now.
transform the refresh the screen. Okay, yeah, this is good.
Yep. August 13th. Next stress test.
All right.
Okay,
I'll
so
see you while playing on that. Thing.
let's get
Alright,
started
let's-
on.
Let's see this
tier
tier
list.
list.
Okay, so for anybody who's not aware, Little Witch Academia is my favorite anime just ever. Though Gurren Lagann is an incredibly close second. I love Studio Trigger so much. And Matt here just making fun of Nightbot. Dork.
You're a dork.
Dude, Matt's just giving Nightbot the OK Boomer face every time.
Okay,
actually,
Bubba.
Hold on a second. Let me just shrink down the screen avatars just a wee bit. There we go. Actually, I don't need. Fine. Okay. So, for anybody who is not familiar with Little Witch Academia, it's this anime that came out back in 2017. There were some there was like a preview and like test episode and test special like that came out like before the series began. And I just absolutely like fell in love with just like the music, like a lot of the characters, just the art, like it's Studio Trigger, like the art in that in their shows, the animation in their shows is just going to be top notch. Um, so okay, I'm not gonna remember like the actual names of like every single one of these characters. Like, first dude, okay, this guy, he's like the son of like one of these like head political figures like in the show. He kind of like appears like later on, like in I think like the second season of it. Like and basically like the whole episode with him is just like Akko and Amanda, and hey, it's another Amanda episode. They both sneak in to what is it, like the all boys school where Andrew goes to, another one of the main characters, and this guy, he apparently like he hates like witches so much that like once he like catches like Amanda and Akko at that point in the episode, he like legit wants to like torture them and like find out like why like they're trying to like go into their school. And like the whole premise of them like going in there was they wanted to like find like the holy grail in the school, just to try and like figure out answers to this underlying mission that Akko has in the second season. But like there is some character growth with him. Like he like grows to kind of like, you know, like respect witches and whatnot, and just like the last episode he does kind of show some support or some level of understanding. So there's not a whole lot going on with this character, so like I don't know, I'd probably give him a D, not necessarily an E, because he does have like some redeeming qualities at the end.
Apparently his name is Lewis Blackwell.
Lewis Blackwell.
Blackwell, okay, yeah, no,
Lewis Blackwell.
yeah, no, that actually, like, I remember, like, when Amanda, like, first saw him, he's just like, you don't recognize the Blackwell name? What kind of student are you at this school?
Oh, I see. He owns a Steam Deck then.
Yes, he does. Hold on,
He actually owns a Steam Deck, I see.
let me just lower it.
No, yeah, exactly. Blackwell in secret is actually a true gamer.
He's a true gamer.
Okay, then, next, okay, we have one of the main characters. We have Susie. No, let's see. Susie, I think her last name is Manbavaran, something like that. I think if I remember right.
Susie Manbavaran, yes.
Okay, so I did actually have. Okay,
Got it
so all right, so Susie's like, with her character, like she's like really into like more of like. I wouldn't say like she's like. You can't really say emo, but she's more of like, I guess, kind of like
Moody?
not really moody, but like she's kind of like, I don't know if you could say like goth, but like she like really loves, like she's really into like mushrooms and like things that are just like usually like gross to like other people and stuff like that, which kind of like adds like her quirkiness. And just like even though she like pulls like a lot of shit on Akko and likes to like prank her and like do all kinds of shit, like she still like cares like deep down. And I really liked the episode like where Akko kind of like goes like into like her mind and like sees like what's going on in there.
that came out with one of the best memes ever. Do you remember the one?
Yes, exactly. That's
Akko opens the door. And
that's the episode
anything
where
can
with
come.
Vespi's meme.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, just like she's like a very caring character. Like she's not so like, she's not like super like one-dimensional. And I kind of like that episode kind of like showed like other sides of her, like kind of like in the same way that like in Teen Titans, like when that episode like when Beast Boy is kind of like going into Raven's mind, you see all the different versions of Raven. It's kind of similar to that.
Okay.
So yeah, so for Susie, she does like really like have like a big impact on the show. I would put her in B tier. Like she's a really solid character. Actually, Epic, since I know you're also like a big fan, like would you like also put her in B, or would you put her like in A?
Oh well, nah. I mean, I would agree with you at the same time for B, because she is like in the middle ground for being a really wonderful character, for her sarcastic tone when she always messes around with Akko and everyone, and she just loves to collect mushrooms just for her sake of just collecting them and for experimentations. I would say, yeah, B for me.
All right, no, that's
So
fair.
I'll agree with that.
Here, let me just like
Mhm.
raise your volume just all right.
All right.
Okay, so next, oh boy, do I really want to do Akko like this early on? I feel like I should save her for later. You know what, I'll save Akko for last.
For the grand finale.
Yeah. Okay, so next up we have Matt's favorite character, Amanda O'Neil.
That we do.
Amanda.
Okay, so like
What do you have to
Amanda's.
say about her, Mr. Man?
Well, no, I really do like Amanda's character. I wish that she was like more involved in like other episodes. Like she's involved in episode 5 and then with the one that I was talking about with Lewis Blackwell. But I think those are the only two where she has like a real like prominent role. I mean, she is important like at the end of the show. Don't get me wrong. Like her and like a bunch of the other main characters. So like in terms of like their role in the show, like Amanda's like not that prominent, but like just I like her like rebellious attitude, just like all of like the acrobatics that she does like on the broom and everything, just like really cool character. Voice acting is great and just like I don't want to like go too like deep into like what's it called? Like into like spoiler territory or anything. Just like but you know, she
I think you have the right to if you're doing the tier list. To be honest, in my professional opinion, I think you have the right to if you're doing a tier list.
Mhm.
Okay.
You're supposed to bear all information on the table.
okay.
Yeah.
Alright. So yeah, no, just like I do like how like over the course of the show, like Amanda and Akko at first were just like both talking about how like eat like one another, like you're like the worst dropout in the school. No, you are. And just like over the course of the show, they grow like so much closer together. Just like at the end of that episode, where like they were both sneaking into like that all boys school with Lewis Blackwell and Andrew. She. Like both her and Akko just like grow like very incredibly close together. Like they have like this epic sword fight with like Amanda kicking Lewis's ass.
Mhm.
And just like
Sounds hot.
yeah.
And Akko and Amanda is my OTP.
Oh, so Amako.
Yes,
Mako.
Mako, dude.
I'll be behind that ship.
That guy that's
Oh,
power makes his normal clothes come off.
Susie, yes, you're a king. I was gonna wring your doughy neck if you didn't. You're a king.
Wait, what?
Yes, dude. I understand she's not A because, from what I understand, she's not an extremely prevalent character, like you said. I'll gladly deal with top of B. Good.
Okay.
I can put the gun and the intimidation stare away.
God dang it, Matt! I'm gonna have to take that away from you.
Okay.
I know. No playing the cup song with your gun, man.
Then next we have the handsome Andrew.
Andrew.
Okay, so Andrew is basically like the son of like this other like really prominent like political figure. I think his father wants to ultimately like run or like to become like the prime minister of like the place where they live in. I don't know if it's specifically supposed to be like Japan. I think where they live is a completely fictional place, if I remember right.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But yeah, no, just like Andrew's like introduced like pretty early on in the show. He has like some close ties to Diana, like with both his family and her family being like very, I guess, like regal, like very like famous, well-off families. And just like Andrew kind of like understands like Diana's like passion for like learning magic and whatnot, and just like he, well, not at first. Like at first, like he just kind of, what's it called? He just kind of like shrugs off the idea of like magic just being useful like in any capacity, just like kind of like in the same vein as his father. And just like over the course of the show, he kind of learns just to kind of like come to his own conclusions instead of just like going along with like everything that his father's been saying to him all the time. Just like and just like I kind of like love the dynamic between like him and Akko. Just like he kind of like in some situations he kind of helps to keep like Akko grounded and just like helps her like understand the things that are going on between like him, Diana, and just like he is a very important character in like close to the end of the show when Akko and Diana are kind of have that episode together where like Diana wants to become like head of the household because her aunt is basically just kind of like trashing the name of her family, just like selling off all of their heirlooms, and just like Andrew kind of like explains to Akko like everything that's going on with Diana about like how she had a hard time learning magic when she was younger. But like with that, like Andrew does have like a very important role in the show. Like he's like the one who kind of like allows Akko and the rest of the witches to like actually like fulfill their mission at the end and just kind of like save everybody. And then also just he really grows as a character. Like he grows to like appreciate magic for what it is. He learns to just like become his own person in the same way that he kind of teaches Akko to become her own witch rather than just wanting to be the next Chariot. So yeah, no, like it's I think
I just have a question from a peanut gallery, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So, from the first 6 episodes you showed me, this guy wasn't in it, correct?
he was in the 6th episode. He was in the last episode that we
Okay,
were watching.
I must have missed it. Okay, my bad. There's male characters that come in later in the series that are actually this prevalent. There are male characters in this show.
Yeah.
Honestly,
it doesn't have to be just
I,
girls.
honestly, like the number of like prominent male characters I can count in just one hand.
I see. Well, yeah, I think there's only 5 here on the list. I see.
Yeah, no. Like
Yes,
most of like the big prominent characters are female. Like Andrew is definitely the most prominent of the male characters. And like Andrew, I just really love his character development over the course of the show, and I like that they don't straight up like just put Andrew and Akko together, because like there are a lot of like times in the show
Ew.
where they kind of like where it seems like Andrew and Akko might be like shipped together, just like, oh, are you sure you're not interested in Akko? And just like, what, are you kidding? No,
You'll miss me with that shit. This is a Yuri bait show. What are you kidding me?
Look, they're like they could have gone that route, but the thing is that this is focusing on with Akko and the other girls. I don't think they would have gone that far for it, so
No.
I wouldn't be able to be behind that.
I mean, if like the creators were to continue the show, I wouldn't be surprised if they had like Akko and Andrew ultimately be together. But I know that like the way they kind of left off the show, it seemed like it was either going to be, if anybody were going to be together, it would either be Akko together with Andrew or Akko together with Diana, and that's just kind of like
I
the way
I
it kind of like came off, really.
I would have think they would have still be friends because they both have like this really special relationship to learn magic together, because they've been through a lot to figure out how magic can be useful for everyone, and I think that's something special for these two to learn with each other, and I think they would still be friends after all.
Yeah, no, definitely. So Andrew, it's a really tough call. I might change my mind on this, but I'm putting him at the top of B.
Fair.
Oh,
Yeah.
I know. I just love character development, dude. He's like the Zuko of little.
The expertise you do, so I have no choice but to leave.
I like
it.
Oh, okay. No.
Order.
I'm putting that to extreme. Like
I like how you just
he's
use
not on
Zuko
this.
as an example.
Yeah, no, but he does have a lot of character growth, and he comes to understand like a lot of the stuff that like Akko and Diana like really care about.
So another quick question from the peanut gallery: are there males that use magic in this show?
No.
No.
Okay, so next one,
Only girls.
Professor Finnelan. E
Yes.
tier. I don't even.
I agree.
I mean
It's the Umbridge. I got you.
yeah, I mean the one saving grace. I mean, she's not as bad as Umbridge in Harry Potter, but
Well, yes.
but like the one saving thing that she has going for her is that she was probably, well, I mean, aside from Professor Ursula, aka Chariot. Oh, big spoiler. But like aside from Chariot, Professor Finland, I think, was the first person to like really have like just like suspicions about Professor Craw's plans in the second season. And actually, I'm not even sure how I'm even pronouncing Professor Craw's name, because I know they say Professor Craw like in the Japanese voice acting, but the way it's spelled, I think it's supposed to be Croy.
Like LaCroix, the beverage.
Yeah, it's spelled Croix.
No, that's
Yeah.
Croy. You got it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Croy,
yeah. So it's just the Japanese pronunciation. Okay. But yeah, Finland was the first person aside from Chariot to like really kind of have an idea like, okay, something's up with Croy, and I don't like it. But that's pretty much the only thing, honestly.
Yeah, nothing much about her that stands out. I would honestly be agreeing with you on the E.
Yeah. Okay. So next up, I forget this girl's name. She's one of like Diana's like I guess like backup girls. I guess of like like how Draco Malfoy has like Crabbe and Goyle. I think were the name of those two.
I didn't know you could read.
I can.
He can.
But yeah, no, like this one, like she has like the saving grace of actually like having like just like an underlying like character trait. Like the redhead girl who's like stands together with Diana, she doesn't really have like anything that like gives her like any character. The only thing that she has is just, being there and saying, "Yeah, Akko, why are you such a loser compared to Diana?" Like that's pretty much her whole character, like the entire show. Well, this one,
Parker.
Barbara Parker.
Barbara Parker. Okay, Barbara Parker. Wait, that's the black-haired one.
Yes, and the other one is Hannah.
Okay, so Hannah, I think I will put at the bottom of D tier. I won't put both. I won't put either of them in E tier because at the end of the show, they both do end up like respecting Akko, like for one thing, for bringing Diana back to the school after it seemed like Diana was going to quit the school. Again, connected to that one episode where Diana had to take over for the family. At the end of that episode, it all ended up being okay. Diana like didn't have to like take over as head of the household right away, and she could go back to school. And the two girls here just came up to Akko in the next episode and actually thanked Akko for bringing Diana back when they couldn't. So I'm just like, okay, like some actual respect going on here. I like it. But also just like again it was Barbara, right?
Yes.
Barbara, yes.
Okay.
Barbara Parker.
Yeah, but like actually like Barbara, I like how like in episode 4 when like when they go to like that book fair for like the book series that like Lotte is like really interested in, she's actually another fan of it. And like in the very at the end of the very last episode, you can see Barbara and Lotte both just like reading that book together and just kind of like talking about it, and I'm just like, okay, this is incredibly sweet. Like I actually really love this.
It's
So,
adorable.
I will put her above Lewis Blackwell. You know what? Yeah, no, I think that's where I'm gonna put her. Okay, the next we have Andrew's dad, the guy who
Oh.
just straight up thinks that witches are just a waste of time. Like he kind of like changes his tune after like Akko and the other witches kind of like save the world, but just like it's like only at the end of this show. Like he is kind of an asshole like throughout much of the show, and like he's willing to go to war with another country just because like a bunch of people like were getting like too angry and like violent over like a football game.
Huh.
Which is kind of crazy. I mean, like, mind you, like, again, all of this kind of ties back to like Professor Croy, who was like basically like her giant plan was like trying to use the energy of like everybody's anger to like basically like unlock the power of like magic. It's a little complicated. Basically, there's this like giant force called this thing called like the Grand Triskelion, and the only way that it can be unlocked so that like magic can be like, I guess, like brought back into the world. Like over the course of like so many years, like magic has just been kind of like diminishing, and the only way to bring like the magic back to the world, to just kind of like have like witches like really flourish again without the need of that sorcerer's stone at the school, is by unlocking the Grand Triskelion. And the only way to do that typically is through that shiny rod that Chariot used, and that was passed on to Akko. There are certain things that Akko has to do throughout the show to like basically unlock the rod's full potential. But Croy wants to use like a different method by using like the negative emotions of human beings to like power her magical machine. So she basically just gets everyone into like an angry, furious frenzy in order to like power her machine. And it all pretty much ends up blowing up in her face at the end of the show. But yeah, no, just like because of like Croy's interference, like everyone is like getting into a mad frenzy. It looks like war is going to erupt, and Andrew's dad is definitely not helping the situation in the slightest. Hell, actually, I think I'm just gonna keep him here. I'll just put him at the bottom.
Agreed.
Then next we have this dude, the owner of the magic item shop. I'm not sure if this guy even has a name, but
He does. His name is, strange enough, Cafe Proprietor.
Cafe Proprietor?
Proprietor, yes. That's his
Okay.
name.
Just Cafe Proprietor. Hello everybody. I am Mr. Proprietor. So yeah, no, this dude has plenty. He actually has plenty of airtime throughout the show, and he's actually there during like one of the more tender moments of the show, which I'll share like a little bit later on. But just like he's like a very like at certain episodes, like he kind of like is like a bit like sarcastic with like the girl. Is just like, are you sure that like you guys find this to be a good idea? And just like, but he is like he does end up being like supportive like for the characters throughout the show, and just like he's honestly just he's a much more interesting like background character for like just to kind of like push like some of the plots forward for certain episodes. I'll put him in C tier. Okay, next. Okay, Constanza, first A tier. Constance A tier, just straight up.
It has a fucking
She
long-ass
is
name.
a freaking genius in the show. Like, I'm not even sure. I mean, no, I know she does use magic in the show, but just like she uses like so much tech just to kind of like really, what's the word? Just to like really like make things like run like more efficiently, whether it's like flying her broom faster or just like cleaning up like her space, like building up like new tech. Like she has like so many robots and everything, and just the one episode that's like about her and Akko just like working together to like participate in this ghost hunting competition in the second season. It has this glorious reference to Gurren Lagann in there, which just I absolutely adored that episode. And then
Best.
and just one thing that I did not notice like the first time watching this, I mean honestly, one thing that's apparent throughout the show is just that she never talks at all in the show. Like she just kind of like
Nope.
grunts and just kind of like points in directions here and there. But like I kind of love how at the end, like the very end of the show, when everybody was shocked at something that Akko did at the end, Constance was the only person who spoke at that moment. I'm just like, that is just a perfect way to end it. Like, fuck.
It's always the case for new characters. They had to have that one moment where you're like, oh my god, they say a word!
They
Like,
said
it's always
something.
good
Just
to
a
hear.
Leonardo DiCaprio meme.
Yeah. It's always a good time to hear it.
But yeah, no, just like she was like a really sweet character, really cute, and just like I loved how she just kind of like made Akko like a makeshift broom so that she could fly. She just like has like the little motor and the sail, just like, hey, I can fly now. Thank you, Constance.
Finally.
Also, she actually uses like a motherfucking gun in episode 5. So
Oh, yeah.
hey,
Oh, yeah.
episode 5 isn't actually like a skippable.
Oh, see? There you go.
Thank you.
That
Okay.
episode was not worthless.
Well, I don't know. Like certain things about it just like were kind of redundant in light of like certain characters. Speaking of, actually, let me just skip ahead to the dragon here, because just like this dude, I think I'll put him at the bottom of D tier. Like he does like make a good point about just like how outdated like magic and witchcraft can be like in the modern era. Like nowadays, if you want to like really thrive, like you gotta like really like get with the times. Like he like invests like in the stock market, and just like even though he's this like old dragon, like he's actually like he's actually very modern, like with like his approach to life, which is kind of a funny thing like about his character, a funny quirk about his character.
Mm-hmm.
And like his whole spiel about just like, you know, just like, why do you keep on like diving into like witchcraft and whatnot? Just like his thing is kind of, his point is kind of like being made at the same time by Andrew, and to some extent by Professor Croy. So just like, you don't really need to hear it from him, because you already hear it from like 2 more prominent characters in the show. So it just kind of makes me feel like his existence in the show is kind of overshadowed. I think I'm just gonna keep him here in the bottom of D tier, D for dragon, I guess. But yeah, no, like kind of a quirky character, but like I'd say like one of the more forgettable ones.
Yeah, I mean, he was just only in that episode, and I think that's it, if I remember correctly.
Okay, so next we have Professor Croy. Okay, so there's a lot to unpack with Professor Croy's character. Like, her and Chariot went to school at the same time, like, growing up, learning magic at Luna Nova, and she wanted to be the one to basically unlock the Grand Triskelion and just, like, basically bring back like magic to the world and like revitalize respect for witches and like everything that they do. But ultimately, Chariot was the one who ended up being picked as like the person to unlock that magic. And like she was like supportive of Chariot in the beginning, but eventually after seeing like what Chariot was doing with her magic, like instead of like unlocking the full potential of the shiny rod, like Chariot was just putting on all of these extravagant shows and whatnot. So like from that perspective, I can kind of understand why Professor Croy was like kind of upset with Chariot. It's just like why aren't you doing what you were tasked to do? Why are you doing this? And just like Chariot, in her respect, did have like her own reasons for like using the rod like in that manner, because like she thought that like bringing joy to like people around the world would be the way to unlock the rod's like unkept potential. But yeah, no, then Croy ended up like giving up on Chariot and like how she was like doing things. She felt like she was the one who should have received the rod and just like was tasked with the job of like revitalizing magic in the world, and just like, but like her way of doing it was just, you know, completely wrong, because just like she wanted to use like negative emotions of everyone around the world to power this machine to unlock that magic. And just like, if you don't understand like the real purpose behind bringing magic to the world, then that power is not going to be given to you. And that's pretty much like how Croy's story kind of came to a close. Like she learned from it, and she ended up being a better character in the end. So like for her there was also like a fair amount of like character growth. It just kind of like all kind of came at the end though when her plan blew up in her face.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean I do like Koi's like attitude. She also kind of has like a bit of like that sassy attitude, but just like not as like in your face as Amanda. She kind of like the calm, cool, collected like kind of character.
Yeah.
So Kroi, I mean, I'll put her above like the cafe proprietor because just like she's obviously like much more prominent and definitely like a more interesting character. But yeah.
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
Diana.
There she is.
Yeah, no, Diana is definitely A tier. I think I would put her above Constance at the top of A tier.
Yeah. I mean, why not do it? I would
Yeah.
actually agree with that.
Yeah, no, because just like, as much as hanging out here and text chats and stuff. No, all good, Silver. All good, Silver. Well, yeah, no, if they actually had an S tier on this thing, I would definitely put her in S tier. Or actually, can I actually edit this, or
What do you mean?
can I add a row?
Press the gear symbol.
Oh,
and
okay,
you
so I
can
can add.
You can add a row and go below row. So Amanda's gonna be A now, right?
That's,
Yeah, what
that
are
is
you
that
guys
is a good
doing?
question.
He's doing Maple's doing my Little Witch Academia tier list.
Yeah.
Oh, that's completely out of my league.
It's fine.
Okay, so yeah, Diana S tier. Constance, I think I will put at the top of A. Andrew, I can move up to A, and you know what, Amanda, I'll move up to A too.
Yeah, A for Amanda. Woo!
See, Epic Man defends Amanda. Epic Man loves Amanda.
Yeah, I love her too.
Okay,
A for Amanda. Like,
okay,
how
yeah,
could you not?
you know what, I'll move Hannah above Lewis Blackwell. And yeah, I think that's good.
Yeah, that's a good enough.
If you really want to make it a spicy tier list, you can call E trash if you really wanted to, but it's up to
I would probably go for that.
you. You can do whatever you want, though. It's your tier list.
Yeah, no, actually, maybe we can just skip E and just go straight to F, honestly.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because no one uses E for
E,
rating.
except for Sonic Adventure 2.
Oh, that, yeah.
Except for Sonic Adventure 2.
Yeah.
F minus.
F
Damn.
minus. Okay, but
Hit it where it's hard.
but like Diana, like at first watching the show, like in the beginning, she, you know, like a lot of people would probably like make the immediate comparison of like her to like Draco Malfoy, but like she's like a much deeper character than Draco. I mean, honestly, I never really watched like the end of Harry Potter, so I don't know if Draco had like any character growth like at the end of the series.
It's been a long time.
The answer is kind of midish. Yes, mid.
Okay.
Not like fully becoming friends with Harry, but kind of just mid respect. Yes.
Okay. But yeah, no, just like Diana. Diana has Diana is like by far like not like a one-dimensional character like Draco was in like most of the Harry Potter film. Like seriously, like she has every right to be annoyed with Akko like, in the beginning of the show. Just like after hearing everything that Diana went through to be the witch that she is, like during the show. Like now, okay, I'm gonna drop like a serious spoiler for the show.
I mean, yes.
and
Lay it all on the table. It's
Yeah.
full information.
but
Do it.
okay, but alright, episode 22. I am never gonna forget this episode. That is the episode when Akko discovered that anyone who went to see Chariot's show ended up having part of their magic taken away from them.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, during the show, like, in the opening sequence, when you see that, like, little fairy, like, coming out from Akko, like, you think, like, oh, that's just part of the show. It's just, like, pizzazz. But that was actually Chariot taking the magic, like, any magic capabilities of anyone in the audience away from anyone who was there. At the moment, to Chariot's respect, like, she did not know that was going to happen. That's also something that Croy was behind. Croy was like gonna help Chariot like with like trying to like really like boost her abilities for the shows, because like everybody was getting tired of like Chariot's like plain magic. Like it's not as like extravagant, so Chariot boosted her magic by having her take the magic away from everyone in the audience. And Akko was unfortunately one of the people who had that magic taken away, as well as Diana. Diana, like Akko, was a huge fan of Chariot, and yeah, because of that, Diana worked tooth and nail, day and night, to try and master all kinds of magic, and after years of working at it, she ended up being like the witch that she is at Luna Nova, being, top of her class, just like pretty much, voted most likely to succeed.
So you're telling me if Akko and Diana never saw that show, they would start with a little higher power level in witching?
Yes.
Wow, what a bitch.
It's like that episode did break my heart when that moment was revealed. It literally just made me go.
At least they can work for the power level back.
Yeah, no, like I
Yeah.
mean, they're both working hard just like to bring back like what they lost, but like they didn't know about this until like much later on in the show, like when Akko finds out in episode 22. I think Diana kind of discovered this fact like a little bit earlier, and like they both kind of have like this like one-to-one heart-to-heart talk about like what they've like both discovered, and it's a very deep like emotional episode, and just like there are a lot of moments in the show that like bring tears to my eye, and like that was definitely one of them.
Same.
Small question from the peanut gallery. So Diana, what I watched for the first 6 episodes, Diana was surprisingly not in a lot of them either. She had almost the same screen time as Amanda if I added up or combined together. So when does the Akko and Diana shipping start? You know what I mean. When does Diana get more screen time, and apparently Akko and Diana shipping really starts?
It's really episode 10. I think it's episode 10.
Okay.
That's the one with the Cupid bee.
Oh
Okay.
yeah, that's that.
Yeah. So with saying that, I'm sure you can tell like what's gonna happen.
I guess so.
But yeah, no, like what is it, like Diana and like the two girls, Barbara and Hannah, like end up being invited to like a party at Andrew's house, because like apparently Andrew was doing like really well in school. He's like on the dean's list or something like that, and because like Diana's family is so close to Andrew's family, like he obviously was invited. And like the two girls, Hannah and Barbara, like wanted to like rub it in Akko's face. Hey, we're gonna go to this big fancy party and you're not invited. Nah.
As they always do.
And with the help from Sir Cafe proprietor, they were able to get like a magical case of like Cinderella dresses, which only lasts for like a few hours, but they managed to sneak into the party. The Cupid bee was something that Susie ordered to be like a poisonous bee, but there was a mistake in the shipping, so she got that Cupid bee. And when Andrew discovered that Akko sneaked in, he was telling her that she has to leave. And then Susie let the bee out and let the bee sting Andrew, and Andrew fell in love with Akko.
Oh.
Yeah, so
Wait a minute, how does that relate to Diana then? I asked when the Diana Akko shipping started.
well, the bee eventually also stings Diana, and the whoever the person looks at first after being stung,
Is
they fall
it
in
when the
love with.
bee stings them and the first person they look at?
Yeah, so Diana sees Akko after she gets stung, and she's like, "I love you."
I love you.
I love
How could I love a lower class witch such as Akko?
still
Just like
love
I can't believe how mean I've been to you. I'm so sorry, and I just have to say I love you.
Because when you were describing Diana's personality, I was sort of getting Vegeta vibes from it. Like, how could I even communicate with a lower class witch such as yourself?
Yeah, no, because like she kind of has that whole character because like the way that she grew up with her family, like she has this like like big name to uphold. Like the Cavendish family
Yeah.
has like a very
Yeah,
long
the
line.
prince of all witches. Yeah, I get it.
Honestly, the more we talk about this, the more I'm seeing your point. But yeah, no, just like over the course of like her growing up and like learning so much magic and having like all these expectations of her, she kind of had to like put away her love of like Chariot and just like the shows that she would put on, and she had to kind of like put up this front, just like saying like about how like no one respects like this like stuff that Chariot does. Like all of her stuff is just like for just like entertain the masses. She doesn't have any actual respect for magic. Which may seem to be like a valid argument to some, but just like it kind of like ignores like the whole purpose of magic, just kind of like bringing joy to the world, and just like aside from like being like a very like practical method of like performing certain things, just like there are a lot of things that magic can be good for, and just like primarily bringing joy to the world and happiness. But yeah, no, just like Diana had to like put that away, and just like seeing Akko just like constantly just like screwing up, and just like like Diana knowing her own backstory and seeing Akko just being the screw up that she is, like she has like absolutely no fucks to give for her. Just
yeah. Oh,
and rightfully so. Just like after like it's kind of it really hits hard because just like they were both essentially just scarred from the beginning, and just like they both kind of had to like in a way kind of like work through like I kind of like see it as kind of like a disability that they just kind of like have to like try and like be able to like go through, and just
No,
kind of like
I
find a
certainly
way
see-
to like really like grow past it and just like make their own mark on the world.
Well, thanks for all this information. This actually helps a lot. This actually really helps my Akko Amanda OTP. They naturally like each other. Akko and Diana was just caused by a bee. That's interesting. Now I can argue with Little Witch Academia.
What?
Fuck yeah.
Oh wait, no, not Akko and Amanda, Akko and Diana.
No. I said Akko and Diana would. Well, I was laughing. You couldn't hear me. Akko and Diana was just caused by a bee. Akko and Amanda naturally like each other.
Well,
Perfect. I'm off to go argue with Little Witch Academia fans. See ya.
God dang it, Matt!
no, but Akko and Diana do eventually become like very close in the show. Like,
Natural.
yes,
Sure.
yes. Like when Akko convinces Diana eventually to like come back to the school, like basically Akko helps Diana with like Diana's struggle against like her aunt, who basically is just kind of like throwing the Cavendish name just like out the window and just like trying to like sell everything that the Cavendish family owns, just like basically bringing the whole family name like down to the ground just to kind of like keep themselves afloat financially.
Exactly.
My OTP is natural.
I'm just trying to pay attention to all of this. I still have like no idea what's going on.
No, it's a lot to
It's okay.
unpack. It's a lot to unpack. But yeah, no, just like Diana like eventually like comes to like really like embrace her love for like Chariot and like everything that she did. And yeah, no, just like they like both Diana and Akko like establish like a newfound like kinship and respect for each other, which is just like again just character development. I just love like where like the relationships kind of like grew between like so many of these characters. Okay, so Diana so far top of S tier. Next up we have Frank, who is I would have to say Andrew's best friend from that all-boys school. And Frank, at first, also introduced in the 6th episode. He's in a lot of the episodes where Andrew is prominent. But, like, I really like Frank's character. Like, at first, he kind of comes across as, like, being... Like, some might interpret him as being someone who just, like, wants to, like, hit on, like, some of the witches and just, like, compliment them just to, like, get on their good side for, like, some, like, ulterior motives or something like that. But, like, honestly, his interest in just, like, witchcraft and just, like, his respect for, like, Diana and some of the other witches, like, does come across as, like, genuine, which I really do appreciate. Like, and just, like, also during that whole Cupid Bee episode in episode 10, while Lotte is trying to help Akko with trying to catch the bee stings Frank and all these other friends of Andrew, and they all fall in love with Lotte at the same time.
Yeah.
Harem bait. I got you.
God dang it.
Also, question from the peanut gallery, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So you're saying males don't use magic in this show? Then what does the all boys school specialize in? What do they do exactly?
Oh no, just all boys school. It's basically just, you know, like
it's just normie school?
Yeah.
No.
You gotta accept it, man.
Akko would never fall. Okay, good. Then Akko and Andrew is definitely not happening. Akko would never fall in love with a normie.
Hey.
Absolutely not.
Hey. Okay, yeah. But
Absolutely not. Ew, they're just a normal boys school with normal subjects? In my witch anime?
at the end of the day, it's fine.
It's okay. It's okay. They can still have a nice friendly relationship. They could just be friends. It's okay.
It's a platonic relationship.
Yeah, exactly. Sloth understand, thank
Normies,
God.
ew. But like the thing with like Frank, I do like how like at the end of the episode when like they break the Cupid Bee spell and like everybody kind of goes back to normal, like not like being like in love with each other through the bee. Like after that, Frank still has a crush on Lotte afterwards, which I find to be like incredibly sweet. Just like when all the other guys just like walk away and just being like, oh, what was that going on? Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna like go get myself a drink, just kind of like leave Lotte like hanging dry, and just like Lotte just kind of has like this kind of like this sorrowful smile, just like at least it was nice for the moment that some people were interested in me. Like knowing that just like this was only a temporary thing, and when Frank saw that look on her face, like he saw something special in her, which I thought was like really sweet. Lotte like turned down his offer to like, you know, like go out together. Like she felt like it was too soon for them to like try and like establish that kind of relationship, like she said, but she was like happy to like still like be his friend at first and see if like maybe this could develop into something more. I don't think they ever really like developed that any further past that episode, but like at the very least, like Lotte and Frank are both friends. And Frank is, I think Frank is also there like at the end of the show in that last scene, like when they all see Akko pull off that thing at the end, which I'll share at the very end. But yeah, so Frank, I'm kind of iffy on whether I want to put him above Professor Croy or not. I think I'll put him just under her, but it's very close. Okay. Principal Holbrook. Now... Oh boy. Where do I begin with this? I do like her backstory in episode 9 when Akko, Susie, and Lotte accidentally bring back her father from the dead. Which is also this character over here, just 2 blocks over. We're gonna get to him later. But just like... I don't remember the exact details, but just like... Oh, wait, Titus, is that somebody in the background?
I'll serve you.
But yeah, no, just like Professor Holbrook, like there are things that I like about her, just like she has like more respect for Akko, and like her friends just like kind of like laying them off like at the end of that episode where they accidentally brought back her father from the dead, and just like it was just like really sweet, like her backstory, just like how like she was like sadly like left behind by both her parents. Like her father died, and I think her mother also died too, like when she was young, but like she still pushed to like practice and learn magic and ended up becoming principal of the school. But I think that's as far as I go with like the positives for this character. Oh yeah, Titus, yeah, like there was like some loud noise in the background. But like beyond that, just like Professor Holbrook was kind of useless throughout the show.
Yeah.
Cause like when like the dragon in episode 5 was like threatening to take away like all the funds and like tear down the school, Professor Holbrook couldn't do anything. Like when like the school was like running out of power because like the Sorcerer's Stone like wasn't working anymore, and they had that whole strike with like all the fairies not wanting to work anymore, Professor Holbrook couldn't do anything. So yeah, no, just like she's there as like moral support, and I like her role in episode 9, just like with her and her father, but that's pretty much as far as that goes. I would probably, yeah, I think I'm gonna put her in D tier, actually. I might, actually what, I'll put Hannah back down to D tier. I'll put her underneath Professor Holbrook. Okay, next up, Jasminka.
Yes, Chubbs.
Yes, Chubbs. She is a very sweet character. Like she's, you know, like she's like always snacking on stuff, but like she's like always like a very giving character, like always offering her snacks to others. Would you want some? Would you like some?
Sort of looking up some other like screenshots and gifs of her. Does she ever open her eyes? Is she Brock?
Yes, yeah, she is the Brock of the show.
I knew it.
She never opens them.
Like, she,
Oh no.
I mean, honestly, I think looking at the stuff that she's done in the episode compared to the others, Jasminka is by far the, like, physically the strongest character of, like, all of the students.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, just like seeing how she just, like, so easily, like, carries, like, Constanze, and just, like, and just, like, at the end of the show, like, when her and all the other witches, like, launch to, like, stop this, like, huge catastrophe from happening, like, yeah, she had a lot of magic to give to, like, just kind of, like, help them catch up to that thing that was soaring in the sky. You know, I'm just gonna say, at the end of the episode, basically, Akko, Diana, everybody else, like, all, like, the main, like, girl students had to work
Amanda's
together.
Right.
Yeah, Amanda's there. So like Akko, Susie, and Lotte, those three, and then Amanda, Constance, Jasminka, and then Diana, those 7, all had to work together at the end of the show to stop a nuke from blowing up the country.
Oh, the Space Colony Arc. Oh, okay.
Yeah. And Jasminka, like, really, like, I mean, all of them contributed, but just the fact that Jasminka, like, put in, like, so much energy to, like, really, like, push them forward, like, when it was, like, her pushing the other 6 ahead. Like, yeah, that took a lot of force. And just, aside from that, though, she wasn't very prominent in the show. I'd probably have to put her in C tier.
That's fair.
Yeah.
From what I gather, they'd probably just keep using her eating gag for whenever she's on camera.
Yeah, pretty much. Sadly enough, I'm putting her just below Cafe Proprietor Dude.
Apparently,
Real name.
apparently in the earlier designs of her character, she was gonna be skinny, not fat.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, you have to have different all sorts of body types.
Yeah, no, exactly. Respect. Actually, what? Okay, you know what? I'm putting her above Cafe Proprietor, just because, you know, representation, all body types.
Congrats, Jasminka. You beat person who doesn't have a real name.
Honestly, I think I'm actually gonna put a marker for that moment. Congratulations.
You won.
You won.
Okay,
Congratulations, you beat a 4-digit credit card number.
exactly. Okay, then next we have the potions professor, like the one who's kind of like, I guess, like the spookiest of the witches, really like the one who's like most in line with like the classic idea of a witch, you know, like creepy, like really like old witch, like with like the creepy laugh.
Her name is Lukic.
Oh, Luna, of course.
Lukic.
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 But yeah, no, actually this honestly doesn't really contribute much to the story.
Not really. No.
Aside from just like episode 9, just like threatening, just like, if you bring back anyone from the dead, your fate will be 1,000 times worse than the worst thing you can possibly imagine.
Coming from an old lady like her, yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, like yeah, no, I'd probably put her at the bottom of B tier. Yeah, because she didn't really have anything going on.
I have no problem with that.
And then, okay, then next we have Principal Holbrook's dad, the undead dude from episode 9, who has such respect for witches. Like, he actually saves Akko's life at one point in that episode. I just like, I love like his goofy character. He like really like becomes like very like chummy with like some random dudes in a bar. Like, he like kind of goes in line with this like street show, I think, that like Akko and the others like put together, like just to kind of keep people from freaking out about, you know, undead dude roaming the streets.
Since he's a male, he doesn't use magic, so he was always supportive of his daughter using magic.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yep.
Sounds like a great dad.
Yeah, no, great dad. And just like he really beats himself up like in the episode. Like, he like basically the whole episode he's like trying to hunt down this guy who did something like so unspeakable, but then like, you know, because, you know, he's dead, like his brain doesn't really work properly, so he couldn't remember exactly who he was angry at and why he was angry at them. And he ultimately realizes that he was angry at himself for leaving his daughter alone, dying without like really like supporting his daughter enough in her like magical endeavors.
So I'm guessing his wife is unmentioned in the show, and what did he die of? Unnatural causes or something tragic?
I think, well, I think because he was like a pirate, I think he died like while he was like out at sea and stuff like that.
Oh, he's a fucking pirate? Damn, dude.
Yeah, he's a pirate who married a witch.
Ah, I see.
Huh.
And his wife, I believe, if I remember right, died like what's it called? Just like died of, I think, like a very severe illness. So
Oh no, she got anime mom illness. Oh no.
yeah. So like basically to just like help support like his daughter's wishes to like, you know, like become a witch, or just like, or actually I think it was like something that he wished for his daughter to like really be involved in magic and really learn it. He sent his daughter to like Principal Holbrook to boarding school for her to learn witchcraft and wizardry.
According to the wiki, it says that his wife shortly died after Miranda.
Oh, like shortly after childbirth?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, no, so that makes
That's
sense.
what it sounds.
Yeah, no, and like he's a pirate. He can't raise a child. Yeah, so like, but like he really beat himself up for like not being able to like return to his daughter before he died, to like really like show more support for her, like as she was like growing up in this boarding school. But like at the end of that episode, like Principal Holbrook like never had like any ill will towards him for like everything that happened, and like they had some nice closure at the end of that episode. So for his character, even though he was only there in one episode, I really do like his backstory in that one. I'll probably put him. I'll put him in B tier. I know like some people might like freak, just like you're putting him over Jasminka,
Jasminka, dude.
the dead dude who was only in one episode. Well, yeah, his backstory was amazing. I really like his
Praise for
backstory.
this undead man.
Boy.
Okay, then we have the flight instructor, who was
Name is
obviously
Nelson.
a prominent character in like the third episode when they have that broom race. But yeah, no, she really wasn't around for much of the episode. Like just with the fact that like Akko was having such a hard time with flying, she was, I think, a little more prominent than this other witch, the Luna witch. So, and I think if I remember right, I think she was actually also one of the characters to return from like the pilot episode before the actual anime series was released.
I
So-
see.
Yeah, she was. Yeah.
So, yeah, you know what? I think you know what? I'll just put her above this witch and just leave her below the dragon.
Leave her
character.
alone.
Leave her alone.
Leave her alone. Okay.
Can't handle
Next we have Lotte.
This nerd.
it.
No, like I really do like Lotte's character. She's like a very sweet, caring, like very giving character in the show. Like you learn a lot about like her backstory in episode 4, about how she was like really like bullied as a witch growing up, and just like how like this series of books like really got her through like all those like rough times. Just like I really like how she has like a very like musical background. Like she communicates with like spirits like through song, which I find like really endearing. So I think I will put her in A tier. Now, do I want to put her above Amanda? Ah.
That's a good question.
No, you.
I like how that is in position right next to the webcam with Make was.
Hmm. Ah, boy.
I mean, she deserves being.
It's tough. I'm guessing Lot gets more screen time than Amanda,
Well,
but Lot's a dork.
Well, the thing is, Latte always appears with Susie as well because they're both. You know,
Yeah, because I get it. They're the big trio. I get it. I get it.
yeah, no, and just like, I don't know, just like Lotte just like develops like such a strong bond with like Akko and Susie, and she would just do anything to like support the both of them. Like when Akko went AWOL after figuring out about like how Chariot like took away her magic, and just like Lotte was just like really like freaking out about just like whether or not Akko was okay, just like her and Susie just like both being concerned for Akko was just like really sweet, really endearing. But I mean, you could say the same thing about Amanda. Amanda, Jasminka, and Constance were also searching for her, just like the rest of them. So, okay, you know what? I'll leave Lotte just below Amanda, but
You can stew on it. If you eventually change your mind, I don't blame you. You're the expert here.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it. Okay, so next we have Ursula Sensei, aka Shiny Chariot. Now, she kind of has a complicated history. I mean, I already mentioned before how she was essentially in Akko's position when she was going to Luna Nova. So basically, the gist behind like Shiny Rod, like that magic wand, basically in order to unlock the Grand Triskelion, like basically like the source of like all of the magic in the world, basically you have to like learn 7 crucial lessons like about like magic. There are like certain like magic phrases or words that you have to learn that awakens each of the lights on the rod. And once you awaken all 7, that basically breaks the seal and you unlock the source to like all magic that can like change the world for the better. Now, Chariot figured out the words for pretty much all 7 of them, but was only able to unlock... Actually, I'm not sure if I think she learned all 7 of them, but was only able to unlock 6 of them. Because, like, she couldn't figure out the meaning behind the very last word, which, spoiler alert, Akko does figure out.
She's the only one.
But just the fact that, like, Chariot wants to see Akko succeed. Like, basically, like, Akko unlocks the first word. Like, I mean, Ursula does kind of, like, help Akko remember the words just to speak them. But, like, Akko, like, once she saw Akko's potential and, like, really, like, unlocking the potential of the shiny rod and just, like, basically revitalizing magic in the world, like, she becomes, like, such a great mentor to Akko. Like, there's, I think it's episode 7 or 8, where, like, Akko's, like, trying to, like, not flunk out of the school. Like, it's that fish episode, that epic, I know you know what I'm talking about. Where, like, at the end of it, it seems like Finnelan is, like, hell-bent on having Akko expelled for, like, all the stuff that she's messed up. And, like, just, like, when Ursula, like, really put her foot down in front of Finnelan instead of just kind of, like, backing down, just, like, that was, like, such a strong moment for, like, Akko and Ursula's, like, relationship as, like, student-mentor. And just, like, I just love her caring attitude. Just, like, she's very knowledgeable and, like, very helpful towards Akko and, like, the other characters. And, like, she still kicks so much ass, like, when she has her fights with Croy in the 2nd season. Like, she's still, like, badass as fuck.
And man, I gotta say, her outfit when she changed into to get fought, oh my god, she looks amazing.
Wait, I couldn't really hear you there. Hold on, let me
Like,
just...
when she changed her outfit during that battle, that one really stood out to me a lot. But her fighting style was really good too. Like, it just wowed me that she can do like that for being a witch.
Yeah, no, like, honestly, like, Matt, mind you, like, Ursula doesn't only use magic, like, she can, like, physically, like, kick ass. She's actually, like, fought against, like, I think Croy was able to, like, summon these, like, beasts that look like constellations, and, like...
What'd she do, deck him in the face?
Pretty much, like, she was able to, like, kick off their face and just, like, try to get to Croy. Like, I feel like Croy was, like, trying to, like, experiment on Akko and just finding out, like, what Akko has, like, been doing with the shiny rod, just to, like, kind of, like, see if, like, there's anything that she could learn from Akko. And, like, Chariot was, like, rushing to Akko's aid just to, like, try and keep Croy from doing anything, like, you know, just, like, awful to her. And just, like, she had to fight off all these monsters and, like, dodge all of these, like, booby traps and everything, and just, like... Yeah, no, like, she's seriously capable of just, like, really beating down on, like, any other witch, honestly. Like, if there were to be, like, a battle royale between, like, her and all the other professors at the school, she would mop the floor with literally everybody.
Agreed.
But, I mean, obviously that would never happen. So, just saying. Now, just, like, the whole thing with, like, her taking away, like, Akko and so many other people's powers, that's something that she never knew was going to happen. That's kind of, like, another, like, level of, like, deceit from Croy. Like, that's also, like, another reason why Ursula, like, just supports Akko, because she just feels so awful about the fact that she scarred Akko potentially for life. Like, Akko may never grow up to become, like, you know, like, to, like, her full potential as a witch because of what happened. I mean, we see like how far like Diana's come, like, but like who knows how much more powerful Diana could have been if that never happened. Like, we don't know if that's like the top of like Diana's potential. I mean, it is possible. Maybe Diana did actually like catch up, so maybe Akko can too.
I mean, we all seen what happened at the very last episode.
Yeah.
Remember? She has potential.
Yeah, no, they all definitely do have potential. But yeah, no. Ursula does like everything she can in the show, basically just to reconcile for her past mistakes and everything that happened before. Just like she feels guilty for being the one who was chosen over Croy, to basically like bring back the Grand Triskelion. She feels bad for taking away Akko's and Diana's powers. Like, she has so much just like weighing on her shoulders like throughout the show, and she still finds a way to just like push through that and just like make things better for everyone around her. She is like an incredibly like selfless character, and just like I have a lot of respect for her.
Same.
So for her, I'm kind of on the fence between her and Constance, but for now I'll put her above Constance. But that's where I might change my mind.
No, she's a famous character for a reason. Even I knew about her before even just diving into the show. I've seen her elsewhere.
Elsewhere, yes. With I'm not even gonna say anything, but okay, but all right. Next up, next up we have Professor Badcock. Yeah,
Is that actually what his name is?
that is actually her real name. Her name is Professor Badcock.
Funny.
Huh.
Yeah, no, like the one who complains about Akko eating a tart. A tart is so much more valuable than eating a pie. How could you, Akko? Yeah, no, she
Unicorn's
kind of,
blood, dude.
yeah, no, unicorn's blood. But yeah, no, like she. Actually, I gotta step away for a second. Just like I gotta use the bathroom. I will be right back in just a second. Talk amongst
okay.
yourselves.
All right, no problem.
No problem.
Dude, apparently the unicorn
All right,
comment
so
did Maple.
Maple was talking about how the final 7 stop the space colony arc in the ending arc of the anime,
Mm-hmm.
but normie male Andrew isn't there. So, I just argue. Look, I'm gonna just posit that he puts Andrew, the brown. That's the brown-haired guy in A, right?
Yeah.
I posit he puts Andrew at the lower end of A and just move up Lot and Amanda.
I mean, yeah, like, because for him, he was like stuck in a rut where he was trying to figure about how magic would be useful, and for him to learn about how they actually do developing with Akko, and it felt like a really special relationship with that. So I can see why maybe it would be like that for him.
But then again, you and Maple are the professionals. Also, wait, so Constance, that's the girl with the goggles and the ribbon, right?
Yeah.
She's one of Amanda's friends, right? Like, she's Amanda's trio, right?
Yes.
So what makes her so much higher than Jasminka? What did she do again that makes her higher than Amanda herself and Jasminka?
Well, because he explained about how her talent was to create these machineries and to do, I guess, magic a little bit better, especially with her broom with the machinery. That is something that I think it's amazing than how Amanda and how they can do, because it's really, because I think that's why, and plus because she's adorable and she doesn't say a word until that one moment. So I think that's probably why she goes up a little bit more. I think that's why. But as to me, I mean, I will always go for Amanda because she's one of my favorite. She's probably my favorite.
Oh, Boggles. Good to see you, dude. If only for a few seconds. Have a good night.
Good night. We were just discussing a little bit.
Now, so yeah, Epic Man was just catching me up on my notes to make sure, again, as much as the peanut gallery can manage down here. A couple things I was just inquiring about. Now, again, you're the professional, so you do what you want, but are you sure you don't want to put a couple of the ending characters from D down to F? D is getting a little crowded. But
That is
again,
true.
each letter means something different to you. You're the list giver, so it's just something I'm noticing. You can do whatever you want. Also,
Well, I figure like F is just like basically just like a tier for just like characters that's like I
Yeah.
genuinely just don't
no,
like.
no, I got you. So
I-
it's basically the gray trash like tier that I usually do. I got you.
No,
You don't
actually-
have to make you don't have to make an E tier either. D is fine the way it is. It's just D and then actual trash.
Yeah.
D and then little trash. Also, I was also inquiring about admin fact-checking notes. If the final 7 girls in the final arc of the anime stop the Space Colony arc, then why does Andrew separate them in the middle of A? Shouldn't Lot and Amanda be ahead of that pencil neck normie male?
Well, honestly, Andrew is also like also a very important character in that scene because like his father, as well as actually Lewis Blackwell's father, who was another prominent political figure, both of them literally just wanted to shoot down Akko and the girls like from the sky, or just like they wanted to like get them like out of the picture. They're just like,
and Andrew stops them.
yeah,
Mhm.
like Andrew like actually like just like straight up like convinces them, you know, like we need to like really like put like all of our support behind them, and the actual prime minister of the country comes in there and like backs up Andrew and says like and just says yes, well, let us show like support for these witches, and like his father ultimately like says like I think you'll be like a great political figure when you grow up someday, just like I'm willing to listen to you about the importance of witches now.
Also, I was just recollecting, I was surprised about how separated Constance is from Jasminka, even though they're part of the same trio as Amanda, even outranking Amanda herself. But Amanda was
Oh, yeah.
telling me how the machinery and that she's like the nicest to Akko first out of Amanda's trio or something like that.
Yeah, no, like Constance like has like so much going for her. Like she's just like basically just like a genius, like putting together like all these like crazy machines. Like I love like the whole reference to Gurren Lagann in her episode.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a plus for me for that.
I see.
Yeah, and just like she, I think it's just really sweet, just like how she's kind of like she's still able to like make friends even though she's like she could be kind of like a bit of a loner. Like she doesn't really like talk much, and like she usually has like her robots as like being her friends. Though Amanda and Jasminka are like also like her friends at the school. Like she,
Well, yeah, because what I see, it's Akko's trio, Amanda's trio, and then the loner Diana.
Mm-hmm.
well,
To make the
well,
final like 7 girls.
yeah, because you know Barbara and Hannah aren't gonna be part
Yeah, I was
of
gonna
it.
say I don't think Barbara and Hannah do anything.
Yeah, no, not really.
Like they don't stop the Space Colony arc, do they?
I mean, technically, in a matter of speaking, everybody does.
Everyone does what? It's a little bit of like a spear bomb sort of thing. A little bit of energy goes in.
Yeah. It's kind of like what's it called? It's just like everybody's like belief and like camaraderie like in the girls. It's kind of like what builds up that magic for them and gives them that
Yeah,
extra
the
strength.
little spear bomb. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
All
See,
right, that was just some questions from the peanut gallery. You can continue.
Yeah, no. But yeah, so again, Professor Badcock, you could just say right there. Well, actually, what do I'll put you below here because she was a bit of a bitch to Akko. Not gonna lie.
True fact. True fact.
You're getting detention for that language.
Actually, what?
She
You know what? Actually, here I'll put her down in F tier. Just a-
You're getting double
Well-
detention now.
well deserved. Well deserved.
Okay, then next we have. I forget her name, but she's the one who commented on the broom race.
Her name is Wangari.
Wangari. Okay.
Angari.
Yeah, so she.
Apparently, according to the
Wangari.
Wiki, that.
So she commented on the broom race in episode 3 and the big Moonlit Witch competition at the end of season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no worries, Vespi, no worries. I'm gonna do like a quick like TLDR like at the end of this.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. if you want to watch the VOD later, feel free to, unless you don't want like any spoilers or anything. I do want to watch through the rest of this with you, like whenever you have the chance.
You did spoil a lot though.
Yeah, no, I did. Okay, so
Watch it at your own risk, Vespi.
yeah, no, like this character, she hasn't been in a lot of episodes, like really not a very prominent character, but like, you know, she does like bring some like energy, some pizzazz to like some of the episodes. Everything's fine. She could be higher though. Hey, A tier is still great.
Yeah, I can't complain. She's better than Susie. Oh.
Yeah, no. I think I'll just put her at the bottom of C. Again, just like I like Barbara's like redemption, like at the end of the show, as like well as the apology, same as Hannah, but
Barbara just outbeats Hannah.
yeah, pretty much.
In the peanut gallery of the show, Barbara just outbeats Hannah. I guess Hannah just never gets anything going for her.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of like at like the very end of like the last episode, like they have like a scene where like they're all kind of like having a picnic, just like waiting for Akko to like try and like pull something off, and like it's the scene when like Barbara's like reading that same storybook series that Lotte's into. Meanwhile, Hannah is like enjoying like snacking down on food together with Jasminka.
Ah, I see. Oh, that is cute. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and the second to last character we're gonna go over, Professor Woodward, who was the
Woodward.
I knew it.
yes, and
Fucking Woodward.
yep,
Woodward.
Woodward.
He's Woodward. He's Woodward. You're Woodward.
What is
Are
this
there any
professor
other
do?
Woodwards I need to know about?
So she was actually the teacher to one of the teachers for Professor Croy and Chariot when they were kids at Luna Nova, and she was the one who taught both of them about what's it called, the like shiny rod. I know shiny rod has like an official name, but I always forget. I always just refer to it as shiny rod. But like but yeah, she's the one who told them about like the Grand Triskelion, and like was the one who guided like Chariot on like her journey towards like trying to unlock those 7 magic words to like really unlock the rod's great potential. So like she has that going for her, but like she has that, and then also the episode where she's introduced, where Akko learns the second word. Basically just like she kind of like tests Akko. Like she basically says, if you walk into this portal now, you can have all your dreams come true. And like Akko sees like images of like her being like Shiny Chariot, like in the outfit and pulling off all these like grand performances and everything. But like the catch is, like she tells her, if you step into this though and you want your dreams fulfilled, you have to give up everything from your past in order to achieve it. And like basically like all of her memories of like, you know, bonding with like all of her friends, bonding with Amanda and yeah, no, like Akko ultimately like learned the lesson that like there are like no shortcuts to like fulfilling your dreams. You have to like work hard for it and believe in yourself in the process. And like and that's how like Professor Woodward found, you know, like promise in Akko, and like tasked Ursula with like helping her find the other 5 words that were left at that point. Just like bringing back magic to the world. So like she had that going for her in her first episode, but after that, like she was just kind of there. Like she didn't really like have any other like messages to give. Like I mean, when Croy ultimately like unlocked the Grand Triskelion, like the ultimate source of like magical power, like Croy, it wasn't what Croy expected. Like Croy didn't have like these super magical abilities. Like all like basically the source of power, it just appears as just like a twig. like, so you basically just grab it and like that's like the magical power, which sounds kind of weird, but like if you put it together with like the shiny rod like being fully unlocked, that's what really like creates the power to change the world. But Croy didn't have that. She used an alternate method, so the only thing that happened whenever she tried using the wand was just like cute little magic, like creating bubbles or flowers or whatnot, and just like this isn't the great magic that I wanted, like, and just like she was like Woodard appears and she is just like, what is this? I thought this was the great magic, and she just said it is, and she's just like, why won't you support me in this? Like Croy just like always felt like Woodard was like always like keeping her in the dark and always supporting Chariot and not her, and just like I feel like it would have helped if like Woodward like really, I don't know, I guess just like leveled with Croy on just like what she was doing wrong. I feel like it definitely, I feel like if she was like a little bit more involved, like we probably wouldn't have like so much animosity going on, like with Croy towards Chariot.
That's the beauty of written characters like this. Of course, we as the audience see that, but but characters themselves have to have flaws too.
Yeah, no, exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I'm not gonna put her in B. I'd probably put her. I mean, ultimately, she is still the driving force behind like the whole plot of the show, pushing the whole thing forward. So I'll put her at the bottom of C. All right, and then we have the final character, the title character of the show, Atsuko Kagari, aka Akko.
Finish it off.
Now, let's see. S
Strong.
S.
I knew it.
S.
And we
Oh,
got the shipping together.
Does she beat the Saiyan witch?
Yeah, no, I'm
Same.
putting her at the top.
Okay, yeah, I figured it. She
Yeah,
is
I
your waifu. Go on, Maple.
I wouldn't call her my waifu. Like I wouldn't say waifu for a character who's that young.
Ay.
Oh, but how old is
I
she?
mean, whatever. He can do what he wants.
Matt disapproves.
Well, how old is Akko?
I think most of the students in the show I think are like 12 or 13.
No, they're 16.
Hold on. let me see.
Are they 16?
Yeah.
Akko is 16.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so 16. Okay, so I actually didn't even know that basic fact. Oop.
Yeah, even Latte is 16 as well.
Okay, I feel like they honestly look younger than that, but
It's just the animation style, you know.
yeah,
Animation style makes them
Animation
look
style,
younger.
characters at different heights, you know.
yeah, I know.
Right.
But yeah, no, just like I know like Akko can be like a bit like boneheaded, stubborn sometimes, but just like she knows what she wants, like out of her life. Like she wants to learn magic. She got that inspiration from Chariot, which like really like pushed her forward towards like this dream of hers, just to be someone who can really like show how wonderful magic can be all around the world, the same as her idol. And just like she has like a lot of character growth. Like at first, like she seems like a little, I guess, like spoiled and just like unaware of certain things. Like she thinks like, oh boy, like learning magic is gonna be super fun, and like she like goes to her first class and just like, this is boring, I don't like this, and just like she like really grows to like appreciate just like, you know, like I guess just like learning everything that she has to know, like basically to like fulfill her dream.
I get what you're saying. She's just a spunky character. You know who would not like this character? CTK.
What?
I think I would agree with you. Just like
CTK would be like, she has no manners. She has no respect.
Oh.
She should be grounded. And-
Oh. Typical.
yeah,
But no, I, Maple, don't worry. I'm on your side. I understand the love of spunky characters.
yeah, I
same
know.
here. Same here.
Mm.
Yeah, because just like she, I don't know, just like it's a really, I don't know, I feel like this anime is just like really powerful with its messaging, really inspirational. just like she really struggles with like this disability that was just like thrust upon her by Chariot, mistakenly of course, but just like she learns to like grow past it. She learns to like overcome like all of the self-doubt that she has throughout the show, and you know, just like in life, like self-doubt isn't something that you can just shrug off like just like in the span of like a few years. Like it's not something that goes away forever. Just like it's something that she struggles with like in multiple episodes, which is entirely realistic. I know like some people who might watch the show might think just like, why is she questioning herself again? I thought we were past this. But I think that it really like serves to like deliver the message home. Just that like you can't let like your doubts just like take over. Like it can be very difficult to like shake that off, but like you have to keep pushing towards that dream that you want for your life. Yeah, no, just like Akko shows just like how much she cares for like other characters. I mean, sometimes again, like she doesn't realize how like her mistakes might impact others. Like in episode 4 when she stole the tarts and like almost kept Lotte from going to that book festival. Like if anything like that ever happens though, like she's always like willing to do whatever it takes to like make it up to like the other characters. Like the whole thing with Constanza's episode, like she accidentally breaks one of Constanza's robots and like she desperately wants to help Constance like with her project. And, yeah, 24-hour stream. Oni-chan with the 24-hour stream.
Yep.
But yeah, no, just like I could just go on and on just like about like how this is just like such a wonderful anime. Just like there are so many characters who just like learn to coexist and just like kind of like bounce off each other and just like grow as people.
I have a few questions from the peanut gallery, if you don't mind. Yes, besides my funny comment in your chat.
Yeah,
So-
you mean
so-
all the questions from the peanut gallery.
So Akko, I understand she starts off as essentially the weakest witch in the show, whatever, the perfect, understandable main character. So does she eventually get better as a witch at the end of the 24 episodes? You can answer these in short yes or no questions.
Yes, actually,
Yes.
yeah, and again, like, so, you know, like, that's another thing, like, the improvement is very gradual. It's not like she just, like, will suddenly completely master, like, one, like, level of magic, like, one method of magic, or one practice, like, in, like, a few episodes. Like, it takes her a very, very long time to, like, figure this out.
Does she eventually learn how to actually fly a broom by herself?
That's actually the thing that she learns at the very end of the anime.
Oh, I see. I get it. That's your thrusting point. I understand. Ah, that is the creme de la creme. Okay,
Yeah.
my second statement is, and you can describe this to the peanut gallery and audience more if you want to. Then if Akko's not the strongest witch in the show by the end of the series, now this is a bait question. I understand good writing when I see it. If Akko isn't the strongest witch in the show by the end of the series, why is she the main character? Mr. Professional.
Well, I mean, like, the main character doesn't have to always be like the most powerful one. It could be the person who really exemplifies like what it means to be a witch, and that actually kind of like delivers the message home. Just like how Troy was like always about like bringing back like the power of magic and just like making like witches like a very like proud people again. While Chariot like only wants to use magic to like really like bring joy to the world and just to like help people, just like get through like, you know, like bad times and stuff like that. Can't the main character just be
Sloth.
Oh god. And Sean, I'm sure there is a tier list for My Hero Academia. Maybe I'll do that one of these days. I still have to catch up on that.
That's gonna be a lot
Yeah,
to go.
it will
Like
be.
seriously, Jesus.
But like
That was well said about Akko, Maple. I understand the main character doesn't have to be the most powerful character, but as long as they're the driving force of the show, I understand.
yeah, no, exactly.
I mean,
like-
it makes you want to feel like you want to be like them, you know, typical like, insert yourself as that person. That could be the case.
Wasn't that the Rosaline or whatever vampire kick show? Oh god.
No.
I don't know. But actually just
The
yeah,
vampire.
no, just like the way the show ends, I mean like Akko doesn't become like, like the most powerful witch like in the entire show, but well actually for that moment she does like unlock the full power like of like, the Grand Triskelion, the source of like all magic. But like her and Diana work together to like basically just like defeat this like giant missile. Like at the end of the show, like how I mentioned, like all 7 of the characters kind of like boost off to stop this missile. One by one, each of the characters just kind of like break off. Like how like a spaceship launches and like different pieces kind of like fall off. Like
Yes.
it's kind of like one by one. Jasminka gives them a boost, then Constance, then Amanda, then Lotte and Susie, until it's just Akko and Diana who basically like save the day like at the very end, like basically using like the very first spell with like that shiny arc with the bow and arrow, and just like the way that the enemy is defeated, like it just kind of like blows up and you just see like this spark of like joy just from like all the people who supported them, like that magic, that joyful magic. You just have like an explosion of light that basically drops down throughout the world, and you see like all these children just like seeing like what just happened and seeing the sparks just like fall down to their hands and seeing the joy on their faces, and everything just kind of comes full circle because it's just like Chariot was the one who inspired Akko and Diana to really begin their journey in like learning magic and just like trying to make the world a better place. And in turn, Akko and Diana did the same thing for so many of these children now. And just like, I guess in a way, just like making it like, I guess giving birth to like a whole new generation of possible witches. And just like,
Okay.
and another point to be made, I'm sorry, I'm just like going on, but just like, despite the fact that Chariot took away a lot of Diana and Akko's potential, despite taking that away, she gave them something that was far more important, and that was the inspiration, the love, the drive to learn magic and just like really embrace it. Like and again, just like they were saying, like over the course of the anime, it's that belief in yourself that like is like really like the source of your magic, and just like that inspiration is just what kind of like fuels that passion, that drive, that belief that they can make a difference, just like Chariot. So even though Chariot did take away like a lot of their magic when they were younger, like it in the end, what she gave to them was far more than what she took.
Yeah, I agree.
And that's something that I didn't actually fully understand the first time I watched it, because like at first, like when I after I watched that episode where Diana and Akko had that one-to-one heart-to-heart talk, like I thought, like how could Akko like get over this like so quickly? Like she lost like so much of her magical ability, but at the end of the day, like she got something much more valuable than what she lost.
Yeah.
Hmm.
That could be the case like that, yeah.
And then just like seeing her finally being able to like fly a broom like at the end of the episode, and Constance's first words and only words in the anime were, "She flew," and then everybody was just like, "Yay!" and that was the end.
It's so hard.
Like it's a really sweet, heartfelt show. And I didn't even go into detail on just like how like Akko and Diana like came together to be friends. I mean, you could say they both kind of like bonded again, like over how they both like really loved like Chariot's work, and just like they both like kind of like grew up with like the same issues, like with their powers being taken away. And yeah, they just grew to like have like a newfound bond, newfound kinship.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, that's pretty much the Little Witch Academia tier list. Just like really quick, Too Long didn't watch TLDW. Andrew's dad at the bottom literally wanted to start a war and just like force like imperialism over riots from a football game. Professor Fenelon, just absolutely no respect, just pretty much like a jerk the entire episode. Same thing for Badcock, just funny name.
Funny.
Okay, Professor Luna, not really that prevalent, but you know, not a total douche. Again, flight instructor, not really that present. Definitely enjoy Sean. Dragon Dude definitely had like some charm to him, just like, you know, like pushing the idea, you know, you have to get with the times, but also just still kind of forgettable.
Yeah.
Blackwell Dude, just like really vicious towards witches, but like eventually like kind of like was one of the characters who was, you know, just kind of like cheering them on at the end of the last episode. Hannah, kind of the same as Blackwell, just like real jerk, ended up being good at the end. Professor Holbrook, great backstory in the beginning, useless for much of it afterwards. Woodard, useless kind of for a lot of the show, but also was the driving force behind it, so C tier. Commentator Girl, interesting character, definitely added a lot of energy to certain episodes. Barbara, same as Hannah, but she did have like that whole character development with like being the fan of the same book as Lotte and just like bonding over that. Cafe Proprietor Dude, really supportive guy. Oh, also just in the episode where Diana and Akko had that heart-to-heart talk, he was there just like kind of like listening in. Like he didn't have like any commentary, but once like all of the students were together, like after finding Akko, like he offered everybody like drinks, like, hey guys, here have some drinks on the house, just like I guess kind of like having some understanding of like what they were going through. Jasminka, sweet character, not that prevalent, but you know, like she did like really like contribute to like the final episode. Professor Holbrook's undead dad, very supportive of witches, excellent backstory. Frank, very respectful dude, really sweet character. Professor Croy, very. I liked her persona like throughout the show. Like she was like very kind of like suave, like very, what's the word, like methodical character. Susie, always like the one who just like pulls pranks on Akko and just kind of gives no fucks with like a lot of different things. Just like a very funny character. Amanda, very strong, rebellious character, and just like really like has like some very cool moments. Again, sword fight, great stuff. Also, Amanda looks great in boys' clothes. Just like
Yes.
just like in like the boys' uniform.
Agree.
Actually, I wonder if there's like an image of just like Amanda. Actually, hold on a second. Before
I saw it on her profile page.
actually, hold on a second. Before I no, actually, I'm not gonna go on a tangent. Let's just move on. So yeah, Amanda, cool character. Lotte, very sweet character. Really liked her backstory with like her like getting involved and like reading through those books. Really contributed to like the end of the show, and yeah, just like really contributed to like Akko's character development, and to some degree like Susie's development. Like Susie like really grew close to like Lotte and Akko. Andrew, great character development. Like at first just completely dismissed magic as a whole, but like after, you know, just like all of his interactions with Akko, like he really grew to like appreciate magic and just like find like its importance in the world. Also very important for like the last episode, otherwise what Akko and the others probably would have been shot out of the sky. Constance, just very sweet character, like ingenious, like able to like build like magic weapons, robots, like you name it. And also just like I just like the little quirk that she just like doesn't talk and had that one line at the very end. And then just like getting to top 3, just we have Professor Ursula, just like very supportive towards Akko. He has like such a great backstory, like just like very similar to Akko's, like mirrors Akko's, but just like kind of splits off, and just like how her relationship with Craw ended, or Croy. Like they kind of like mirror her relationship with Croy and Akko's relationship with Diana. Like Akko's relationship with Diana is like what Chariot and Croy, like what they would have hoped to be, I guess. Then Diana, just like very strong, independent character. Just like ultimately like very sweet, like really comes to terms with like who she is as a person, who she is as a witch. And yeah, no, just like great character all around. And then just Akko, just like I feel like just in the same vein as Diana, like both like very inspirational characters. She's like very passionate, and again, despite being very like I guess like strong-headed and stubborn at times, like she's very ambitious like about like what she wants, and just like she finds ways to just surprise people at every turn. And just like she overcomes like so many hardships, like with just like learning magic, again like overcoming self-doubt, and just ultimately just bringing back joy to so many people, that the same joy that she was given from Chariot. And yeah, that's the tier list. And at 2:13 in the morning, I have got to go to bed. Yeah, so
Yep.
that's gonna be it for me. It's almost gonna be 12 a.m. where Titus is.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, apparently the whole show was not taking place in Japan. It's actually in Europe.
Okay, yeah, I had a feeling. I mean, with names like Lotte Jansson and like Diana Cavendish, I figured it was like something like British or like European, something like that.
It does feel like that. I would imagine that would have been the case, but yeah.
But still, okay, so for those of you who tuned in, thank you so much for joining us for Knockout City. It was a lot of fun. I'm sure I've got like plenty of clips to get to later on. And for those of you who stuck around for the tier list, this was a lot to unpack. And for anybody who's never watched the show, I highly suggest checking it out. It is so good. Like, animation's top notch. Story is amazing. Character development, the music. I love the opening and ending themes to that show. And just the music, like even like in the middle of the show, just like at certain moments where like Akko like has these inspirational moments, and just like it really hits home. Like it really is hard. But yeah, let me see who we can send the raid over to. I did have one person in mind. Let me just.
Okay. Are you taking suggestions by any chance?
I might. Let me just see. What everybody is. There was one person who I had in mind. I just need to see if they're still streaming.
Are you and me possibly thinking of the same person?
Yeah, maybe.
Possibly.
Oh no, I don't. No, it looks like they're not streaming anymore.
Were you thinking of Odd Hour and his 12-hour stream? Because yeah, I think they got off like 2 hours.
Yeah, no. Sorry, like a 5-hour stream, like it brought on like 2 hours extra because of Little Witch Academia discussions.
Hey, but you know what? It's fine though. Like if there's anything that we've learned today, is that you know your knowledge of Little Witch Academia, and well, I will say for the record that as somebody who didn't understand, I guess, any of this, you made it seem like I could learn everything, you know?
Yeah, no, like just like taking it like one episode at a time. Like there's a lot to unpack, but just going through like the whole journey, like with the characters, just like again, like it kind of takes me back to like Avatar: The Last Airbender, with like how all the characters like really develop over the course of the show. Now, would I say that actually it's kind of actually, this is kind of an interesting comparison, because like Avatar: The Last Airbender is my favorite Western animated show, and Little Witch Academia is my favorite Eastern animated show. Like, if I had to pick one or the other, goddamn, I don't think I could make that choice. I can't. I just can't.
I don't know if that's even possible.
No, I really can't. Like, I love both shows like way too much.
Oh yeah, definitely. They're both really good.
Okay, but let me
Oh yeah, wait, sorry, quick. One more question. How many seasons is Little Witch Academia?
it's 2 seasons, and each season is like 13 episodes, so it's just 26 episodes.
Yeah, I mean, it's just I hate when they decide to just cut off shows after 1 or 2 seasons if it's really that good. I wish that.
But the show reaches
No.
a natural conclusion.
Yeah, it does reach a natural conclusion, and just like I don't think it would work to have like the show continue the way it ended. I could see maybe like a post-show like film, maybe, to see like how like Akko and the others have like really like progressed after like all of the events that happened.
Okay.
But like but yeah, no, I wouldn't expect anything like beyond that.
Okay, no, for sure.
I mean, the only other time I ever seen something outside of the show was they had a little cameo in the other Trigger show, Space Patrol Luluco. Yeah, and the only appearance was Lucy was there just to mess with Luluco.
It's... let me see.
Oh yeah, also sorry, I didn't hear the answer to your question the first time. Were you taking raid suggestions or are you still looking?
Actually, if you have a suggestion, you could let me know.
Okay, I have a couple of good people on hand, because there was somebody that I literally just met last night while I was actually playing Celeste. They were trying to go for affiliate, that's one person, and then the other person is actually doing a subathon currently.
Oh, okay, cool. Actually, I do see someone on who is celebrating a birthday. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's been super long since I've done on this person's stream, so I don't remember under what situation I followed them, but like, yeah, I'm definitely willing to show them like the support. It'll be nice to reconnect for like it's this person called Harley Chaos. They're doing a birthday stream. Oh, okay. Actually, I can see from I can actually see from like the VTuber, and see this is an 18+ stream, by the way. Well, it is 2 in the morning, so
Yeah, I know, non-toonie hours.
That's the case.
yeah, no. All right, so yeah, no. I'll send the raid love over to Harley Chaos, but yeah, actually, Titus, if you want, you can share with me like the channels of the other people that you were thinking to suggest.
Yeah, sure. I can do that later if I remember to.
Yeah. Okay, but yeah, no. So guys, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I'm gonna read. Have those. Let's see. Alright, so yeah. We're gonna send the love over to Harley Chaos, who is playing Dead by Daylight. Okay, so here are the raid calls for everybody in chat. Copy and paste those into Harley's chat to raise the hype when the raid goes through. My next stream is going to be this Wednesday, if I remember right. We are wrapping up the Digital Bonfire Invitational, our big Mario Golf Super Rush tournament. It's going to be big. We have some special guests who are going to be commenting on the happenings of the finals. We got Eel Guy Live and Pug Weenie. Actually, let me just quickly give them some shout outs. So we got Eel Guy Live with Nightbot. Wake up.
Fucking nerd.
Alright, and Pug Weenie. Both of them will be commenting on the happenings. Actually, let me just cancel this just before I run out of time. Both of them are going to be commenting on the last night of the tournament. And the finalists are going to be myself, MMG Mike, Matt Big Fat, and the fourth spot is going to be a toss-up between Silverstone Conjure and Broadway CJ. We're actually going to be having a sudden death match to decide on that fourth and final spot to open things up Wednesday night.
Wait, did they tie exactly?
No, they didn't tie. It's CJ couldn't show up to the second round, so we had a pro computer play for him and count as him. And they technically beat Silver. But since he's gonna be available for the third round, we just thought just to settle it as sort of like a tiebreaker.
Yeah, and I also just thought I also just didn't think it would be right just to like have like a CJ have like Silver spot just because the AI like overtook Silver.
Yeah, they played for him. To be fair, CJ had an emergency and couldn't show up, obviously. But yeah, so we ultimately just decided just to have them duke it out just for a final spot.
Yeah, I mean they were
sure. So
yeah, they were both really close in the standings anyways. So like I
So
think
in essence, Titus, they did technically tie in a sense, in a weird sense, they did tie.
okay, now I do have a quick question. As just a theoretical, but let's say maybe you weren't in the finals. Were you still gonna stream it anyway, just to see how it would turn out, since you and Shellshock organized the entire thing?
Yeah, no. If I weren't in the finals,
He would just pout in the room in his corner.
I lost my own tournament.
I lost my own tournament, Kaiba.
He would give himself a timeout for not making it.
Yeah, no.
If I lose, I'll be humiliated.
Yeah, no. Oh, well, actually, I also should have mentioned that Shellshock is also going to be commenting on the finals along with Eel Guy Live and Pug Weenie. And we might potentially have whoever doesn't advance between Silver and CJ, they might be on as the fourth commentator. But that is questionable. We might not have that. It might just be the three. That's something that we're just going to have to discuss later. But yeah, okay, so I'm just going to put that raid all back in.
Okay, sorry. Very last question. I promise I can let you sleep in peace after this. So next Wednesday is going to start off with the sudden death match, and then into the finals.
Yep.
Got it.
Yeah, so it's going to be a sudden death match. It's only going to be like probably just 6 holes, so like just to decide who's going to take that last spot, and then it's going to be 4 hole courses after that to determine who's going to win the gold at the end of it all.
Okay.
Yeah, so
I'm actually gonna laugh so hard if the sudden death match somehow ends up in a tie too.
That would be ridiculous.
yeah, no, well, it's gonna be impossible because just like
because it's time based. There's no
time
way.
based, and I'm gonna have it set for 18 holes. If they somehow end up with the same tie after the 6th hole, we're just gonna go to the next hole and the next hole until someone catches up. Unless they both somehow end up at the same time for the next like 12 holes.
Well, yeah, which would be like what, like 1 in a billion odds or something.
Yeah,
like
no,
something like that.
But like, thanks to everybody for the new follows. Matt Big thank you for the 5 bits.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Okay, and oh yeah, Shellshock wanted me to be Beta Lotus. I guess I'll change my username to Beta Lotus for the next one. Oh, okay. Raid's about to go through. Good night, everybody.
All right.
See you in the next one. Enjoy Harley's stream.
Good night. Good night.
Damn.